Welcome to another lesson of the Ultimate inDesign Beginner to Advanced course. In this lesson, we want to learn about the images that we can use in our magazines. Now we can use portrait images or landscape images. Okay. Now with these images, the images that we can use, most of the times you can see that the images of a magazine, they are always watching the camera or they are always facing the reader. So now when you take this image for example, you can see that the model is looking at a different place. Okay, and most of the times we also use images that are facing the right. So when we decide to use this image, we have to rotate it or swap it, or even let's make it to face the right. Okay, then you can see that we can use this image. But when you are talking about it, for instance, you can see that this image is looking at a different place. But we can use it as a conceptual image because it's speaking, or the image itself is talking about something. Then that we can use it if you are not using where the image is facing. Now this is a landscape image, and the image. Wait, let me talk about this image. So with this image too is good. By the time we adjust the image, we can also have a space where we can put our masthead. Also have a space where we can put our cover lines, our barcodes, and other things. Okay, so this image is also good. Now with this image too, it's also a good image. You can see it's facing the reader, it's looking into the camera. Also have some good places where we can put our cover lines. And now when we decide to put our masthead, the masthead has to go behind the magazine or the image. Okay, with this, so we have to cut the background from it and then put the image over there. So we'll go back to how to cut the image and put our backgrounds over there. Now with this image too, it's also a good image, but when you decide to use this image, unless you put a black overlay and then we lower the opacity a little bit, if not, it will be difficult for us to use it. We also have this image, the black background is also good. We can put our cover lines over here. We also have a space where we can put our masthead without cutting the image, so it's also a good image. This image isn't good enough for us to use, okay, because by the time we put or we adjust it or stretch it to fit the magazine cover, you will see that it will only be left with like one eye and like this, so it's half of this, so it's not a good image to use. This image is also a good image because it has especially been taken. Okay, and we can, when we decide to use white fonts color, you see that it will also be good for us and have also a good place to put our master. By the time we stretch it, you'll be left with good space so that we can also put our cover lines over. This image too has a blur. It's also a little bit blur. This also one is also has a blur background. Then, so if you are placing our what you call our fonts or our cover lines and masters on it, is also a good image to place. Now these two images is what I want to talk about now. We have this image, let me say they are the same image because it's the same model. Now if I want to use it between these two, I'll choose this landscape image and I'll leave this image. Of course I can use this image, there are a lot of space is on top and on the sides over here too, but when I decide to use this place, the words that I put there will cover the face. So I can also I can only use this place, and when it covers this place, it is good because still the face will be visible, and I can put the main cover line over here. Okay, I hope you understand me. So if I'm using it, if I'm choosing between these two, I'll choose this one because by the time I finish stretching it, I'll be left with a lot of space to also work with it. So that's it. And this image, when take it, can use this side for your masthead. You can put your masthead on the side and can also put your cover lines on the side and others. This image too, you can also put your masthead and the cover lines, and the place that is needed is the face. Okay, the face, that's the place that is needed. So by the time you put everything on the side, you also have the space. And how you should, when you have images that have a clear background, a background that is has a little bit of contrast, okay, it is good to use than the ones that are not that are blur. Okay, so it is good to use it than the ones that are lighter. I mean the ones that are lighter, not the one that are blur. I mean the images that are blur. So when you take this image, let me show you an image. You see this image. This image, the background is light, and it is sometimes difficult unless you put shadows on the fonts. Okay, so I don't like using this type of images. I like using images that have contrast. The background is black or other things. Okay, that when you put images on it, it can be visible. Okay, or when you put fonts on it, words on it, it will be visible. So use this type of images that have backgrounds like this, black background. When you see that when you put images on them, it can be visible. And also use images that you see that they have blur backgrounds, or the images that they are blur. Okay, so it also be good. So I like choosing this type of images, so you should also choose this type of images, and it will help you. Thank you for joining this lesson.